G'day guys, I've got the Chris Vector here today. I bought a blackout kit and I installed that. Then I put the thing back together and it wouldn't go at all. No idea. I had no idea why. The most that would happen is when I pulled the trigger, I could hear a faint noise. The magazine motor was whirring a little bit, and that was it. So I thought, well, I don't know, maybe the MOSFET had shit itself for some reason or other, because everything looked fine. I didn't touch any of the wiring. Everything was still in the same place. So I ordered another MOSFET for it, and it came and it was completely different. It would fit in there okay, but one of the plugs didn't match the size of the connector. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna get rid of all that and just hardwire it in, just like a Gen 8 sort of style. So I did that, hardwired it in, plugged it in again, pulled the trigger, and nothing happened. So I was super frustrated. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I had to go back to basics. I pulled it apart again, pulled the motor out. I got special wires that I can just hook to a motor and plug into a battery, so forth. Like this, you know, just get any motor, plug that in, put a battery in and see what happens. And it wouldn't go. So I thought, well, okay, I'll have a look at the motor. And when I went to, well, there's something going on there for starters. The motor wouldn't turn. It's seized. I have no idea why. It was working perfectly. I pulled it apart, put it back together, and the motor's seized. So that was the problem, nothing else. But I don't mind doing without the MOSFETs, because I intend on running this 11 volt. I don't know if they're going to last on 11 volt, so forth, so on. Just shoot at full auto anyway. It's like the SS and other ones, you know. It's just a gel blaster. You don't, sorry, it's just a gel blaster. You don't actually, you know, need a MOSFET, but put them in if you want, you know. So I ended up hardwiring it in, and it works perfectly now. I didn't have a spare one of these, but I did have a Dream Army airsoft batteries, just a standard one, 480 short, and the shaft was actually a little bit longer, because in the Vectors it's got a really short shaft. So I had to knock the top off, but before I did that, that motor there doesn't go, as you can see here, I think it's flat. It's got the D shape goes all the way to the motor there, but on that one it only went a certain way, and then it was round like this, sort of like how you can see. So it was basically like that. And with this, the pinion gear goes all the way down on it. So what I had to do is I put this end in the vise, clamped it there like that. Got an appropriate file. This has got 4 flat sides on it, and it, you know, just enough to do like there, and filed that away. And it ended up being very, very easy actually. If you're going to do this, take your time, because I was surprised how soft this metal is. Like it goes down really quickly. Okay, so just take your time, and I got it down perfectly so that flatness went all the way to there. Then lined it all up, and then had to trim, you know, X amount off, probably about that much off the top of the shaft. So that worked really well. There was no problems with that. What else? And that being a standard motor, it's really fast anyway on 11 volt. Okay, at the same time I just did a green O-ring. I put a metal T-piece in, and I'm sticking with the brass barrels. And what I've done is, because I like these brass barrels because they have an inside diameter of 7.2 mil. Because I'm finding trouble with the other type ball barrels like 7 mil and 7.1. I can't get gels out, but these are going really nice. This is the actual size and so forth that it is. I'll roll that slowly so you can see. So that's the barrel, and you can get another size, which is this size here. And this has an outside diameter of 9.5, which is handy because this one slips inside like that. Okay, so this is the same size as your normal all outside diameter barrels. So for T-piece, hop-ups, everything like that, beautiful. Okay, and these are quite long. Like, that's how much is left after I've cut this much off here. So, you know, you can get 2 to 3 barrels out of these. All right. What else? Oh yeah, just one other thing. When you get a new motor, and if it's got the pinion gear on it, sometimes they're hard to get off. And the reason that is because they've got like Loctite on them or something like that. So, you know, sometimes you can't even undo the little grub screw. So what you do is, when you get them and you want to take your pinion gear off, just get a flame like this. Heat them up. Doesn't take very long, and you'll see the Loctite melting and running down. And then cool them off, and then you can actually, you know, you can pry off the pinion gear nice and easy. Then, okay. So that's just a handy little thing to know. What else? Something else I did on this. I had a look, and up in here there's a little wall that goes across here, and there's a stem just there like these ones, and all it was doing was just holding these together, but without it they hold together perfectly because of where the screws are and where all these tags line up. So I got a hacksaw blade, and you can get a Dremel or whatever you want, and I took that out down through there. Originally it just had a little slot here for the wires to go out, but so take all that out, all through there and on the other half, and you can fit larger batteries. So as you can see, it goes right up into there. Alright, so the battery, just to give you an idea, the battery that comes with it is this poxy little thing. Okay, it's tiny as, but go to your remote control shops or go online. I'll give you the dimensions of this. It's a true 800 milliamp. It's 11 volt, and you know, there's stacks of room there. Okay, so when I rewired, I just had that sticking out that length, so that when that's in there, you can hook these up, and that can shove right up in there, and you've got stacks of room there. Okay, it's nothing tight. You don't have to bend wires, play around like that. So so there, take that wall out and that stem right down on both halves, and it doesn't affect anything holding it together. All right, I'll give you a quick measurement of this battery to give you an idea. That's in centimeters, so there by that by that. Okay, so that just gives you a rough idea. You can go a little bit bigger, longer, obviously. What else? Oh yeah, I'll just show you this quickly. This is a easy way to get more FPS even from your standard spring. Like, this is the standard spring, and they're actually not too bad, you know, for what they are, because they got big spacings. The thought is you could put something in here like this and have your spring on there, and you're making it longer, but because they've got huge spacings, it can squash up a lot, you know. Like, so you can have a spacer in the bottom of here, like that. Just makes your spring longer and gives it more tension. So I upgraded to this one. It's not the greatest spring, but it's not too bad. This sort of setup's doing about, I don't know, 280. So this sort of thing here, it's just I don't know where I got it from, but it's just like a bit of poly, and you can drill them out and shape them a little bit. You just got to make sure that they're basically the same size as a spring. And you know, I could do probably another one of these at least on this, but because I'm just running the standard gears, I don't know how much pressure I can put on this gearbox, so I don't want to overdo it. And it's shooting beautifully now, just with that sort of FPS. So until I get another gearbox aside and do that up all metal and so forth, you know, that's enough pressure for me. But I'll just give you an idea of these sort of, like if you got a 3D printer, you could easily make these things. And this particular one's got a diameter of that. Okay. Inside diameter and a thickness, and what else this way. So, you know, it just gives you an idea if you want to make some things like this. And it's an easy way to get some more FPS if you haven't got a whole bunch of different springs and so forth. It's just a easy gain of FPS, and a pretty safe one too. Something else with these, that little spring there can fall out when pulling it apart, or you know, so forth. So I lost this bastard and ended up finding it again. I was trying to make other ones, but lucky I found it. So what I've done is I've super glued it into the top here to try not to let it pop out. Okay, so that's what I've done there. I might even whack some hot melt on top of it again, just to make sure I don't lose the bastard. Okay, what else is there? I think that's about it. I have done a diagram of how I've wired this up if you want to do it yourself, just to make it easy, because I've used the existing mag wires, the blue and white that come up through here. They're not attached to anything, they just come up through here, and the blue is the positive. So I've just used the existing ones, joined onto them here and so forth. I'll show you a diagram so you can you know, use that, have a look at that, and do it that way if you don't know how to wire up a gen. Okay, so that's the diagram there. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. So I think that's about it. That's what I've found out. So anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. Till next time, behave responsibly, and remember,
Charlie, don't surf!